Alright everybody, welcome to another episode of Unique Adventurez. We are out here at Cascade Peaks. We are about ready to do this epic Ruckus Campground review. One of the biggest private campgrounds in Washington. 500 to 600 different sites here. We are going to try to go through as many of them as possible here and give you as much information. So we're already going to apologize in advance for the length of this video because it is going to be long. What I am going to do down in the description, I'm going to mark each section off. So if you're wanting to see a specific site or a specific something specific in the campground, you'll be able to target that specific section and look through it to kind of see what those sites are like. So without further ado, we are going to get at this Ruckus Campground review. So we are here at the front entrance and we are coming in, and right as you come in, you've got the main building there on the left, or I'm sorry, right. Main building on the right there. That's where you're going to check in at. We are going to go and take a left right over here into the full hookup spots. This is going to be the first section of the campground we're going to be going through. You've also got the dump station right here on your right, and 120 full hookup sites. When I mean full hook, water, electric, sewer, the whole 9 yards is here. They do have, some of these spots are 50 amp, most of them are 30. I'll see if I can link a picture up here for just a second. You can freeze the frame and kind of figure out which sites have 50 amp and which sites don't. But here we go. So we're going to go down this first aisle here. Sites number 1, we're going to count up from 1. Now everything on this line is going to be about the same size, okay? You're going to be in that 30-foot range, I'm going to assume, in most of these spots. Like this end kind of dips down a little bit, so it may be a little bit shorter. But the way I think that they envision this to work out is that you would have opposing ends, and I'll show you an example down here a little bit to give you maximal room to actually, get to enjoy the campground. I'm gonna say right now, the spots on the ends of the rows are probably gonna be your best options, just because you're not gonna have a neighbor right next to you, and you're gonna be able to oppose out away. So this is sites 1 and 2, and we're just gonna go right down the line here. 1, 2. Obviously, you've got 3 and 4. 3 and 4. I mean, they're big sites. And then you see how you got this middle block area here, and I think you'd oppose either direction, so you'd have this common area in the middle. So it is a little bit tight. I'm not going to tell you it's not, but this is what they do here. 120 sites just here in the front alone. So you got 7 and 8, and so these guys are kind of doing it the right way here. In fact, this is a great example here, and I guess if you had a group of 4 people and you wanted to hit this up, this is the setup right here. Get all your openings out to a middle congregated area here. That's not bad. So we are now up to 9 and 10. So that was 7 and 8, 9 and 10. Got 11 and 12 here. Big sites. This section here in the middle here's got a little bit of tree cover here, which is kind of nice. We'll figure out which sites those are. So that'll be 13, 11, 12, 13, 14. Got a nice little tree cover there. 15 and 16. Got this. This is a bigger open area here, so this may not be a bad one to do as well, if you wanted more outside coverage there. 17 and 18. These guys doing it up here, like I said, opposing their middles to go outside into each way. 19 and 20. 21 and 22. This is actually some really cool shade cover here in 22 and 23. You know, if you had two friends and like these guys are doing it up here, that's a gorgeous looking fifth wheel. That guy is doing it upright. Nice little setup there. But nice shade cover here if you want to stay out of the shade in the summertime. 23, this is 24. Still got shade cover. You got 25 here, looking good. 26 still in the shade. 27, 28, still got a little bit of shade cover, and 27, 28 comes open a little bit. 29 and 30 here's at the end, and this is what I was talking about. These ones on the end here, you're going to have all this space to do your activities and stuff. I'm assuming in this part of the campground, these sites probably go faster just because you got a little bit more wide open space here. So that's 30. We're going to come right up the line here. And obviously we're going to start here with 31. And 32's got some shade cover, that's nice. Got 33 and 34. Still got some shade cover. 35 got some shade cover. 36, yeah, you'd have some shade cover there too. 37, 38, these are going to be heavily shaded. 39's going to have some shade. 40's going to have some shade. 41's going to be a little bit open. 41 and 42 are going to be a little bit more open into the elements a little bit. 43, that looks kind of permanent, but then you still kind of got this open area up here, which is nice. And looks like we're up to 45, 46, 47, 48, get back into the shade. 49 and 50, 51's in the shade, 52's in the shade, 52's in the shade, 53 still kind of in the shade. But you know, these sites aren't bad, especially if you're wanting some full hookup in here, for sure. Like I said, you're a little bit more cramped in here, but you won't have to worry about jockeying for spots on the backside, which is kind of nice. 53, 54, 55, 56 are open into the sun. 57, 58 are open into the sun. And then you've got 59 and 60 on the end. So 60 is going to kick out here. You're going to have a little bit more of that open area. Let's turn this thing around. So we're going to start here at 61 is in the shade. Yeah, 61, that's a nice looking toy hauler there. Still got that shade open area on that end cap, looking good. 61, 62's got some shade. 63, 64 kind of open a little bit. 65's open in the sun. 66 kind of butted up against this tree here. That's kind of weird. 67's in the shade. 68's in the shade. Then you got 69 in the sun. 70's kind of in the shade. 71, that's in the shade. That's looking good. 72, it's looking good. 73's in the shade. 74, I'm not too sure about that one. 75, you're definitely in the shade there. 76, yeah, you're still capturing some of that shade as well. So we got 77, 78 here in the sun. A little bit, got a little bit of shade. Yeah, 79 and 80, kind of partial. 81 is going to be opened into the sun. 82 is going to be in the sun. 83 is going to be in the sun. 84 puts you kind of in this partial shade situation here with this big tree. Got a little bit of shade in this next one. 85 and 86. 87's kind of in the sun. 88 will be more in the shade. And then you've got 89 and 90. And like I said, 90 will be a preem spot to have this open area here on the back side. And we're going to count it down. We're at 90. We've done 90 sites so far. This is nuts. So 90's in the shade. You got that open end cap here, which is nice. 90, 91. 91's in the shade. Holy cow, that's loud. 91, 92, you're kind of in the shade there. 93, you're going to be more open. 94, you're going to be a little bit more open as well. 95, a little bit of shade. 96, you're going to have to contend with this tree a little bit depending on where your door is. So just keep that in mind. 97 should be fine. It'll be some open sun. 98 will be open sun. 99 and 100 will be open in the sun as well. 101 and 102 will kind of be open into the sun. Not a lot of shade there. 102, 103. 103, 104 will be open into the sun. Got a nice big open area between 104 and 105. You got 105, partial shade. 106, I think you might be in a little bit of shade. 107, you're in the sun. 108, you're in the sun. 109, you got a little bit of shade on that side there. Kind of, as the time changes throughout the day too, you know, the shade may change, but this is just kind of what we see right now. And we got 111, 112. 112's in the shade. Got a nice shady patch here. 113, 114. Nice, fairly level. You might have to do some jockeying around here, I ain't even gonna lie. 115 and 116 looking a little open to the sun. 117, 118. Got a little bit of, 17's got a little bit of shade. 18 will have a little bit depending on the day. 119, a little bit of shade. 120, you're going to have some shade, but it looks a little bit shorter here on this backside. This may be the only part here that you know, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this end spot because you just don't really have a lot of free area here. So, and it looks a little bit shorter than most of these. This is the only one I saw that was like this. Can't believe it, guys. We are through 120 sites already. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're notified. Drop us a comment. We're out here giving you this content. This campground will not let you reserve campsites unless you've been here and you know what numbers you're going after. Now, this is going to give you a gauge on kind of where you stand. Don't take everything I say, you know, for heart. I'm just trying to give everybody a good idea. But this video may actually change the game for this campground. So we have completed main, hookup, loop. Now we are going to go into Cascade Loop. It is the biggest loop in the campground. So we're going to get to that here in the next segment. All right, everybody, we're back. Next segment, Cascade Loop. Almost 200 sites on Cascade Loop. It is going to be the widest loop around the park. Mind you, a lot of these sites, I'm going to tell you flat out right now, a lot of these sites, you're going to have a really extremely hard time to get a trailer into a lot of these places. They're more set up for like a tent kind of situation, but I do want to give you that perspective on kind of what people are putting into these places so you can kind of give yourself a little bit of a gauge before you get here. This place was busy last night. We got here on Friday. It is now Saturday, and I think, oh my God, we just missed the loop. I ain't even going to edit that out, because I was just asleep at the wheel. You know, we're doing these things live. We're doing it off the cuff. But I want to give everybody that perspective. So this site here, now they do have some private sites that, you know, people have here. They are marked by red boxes, so those will let you know permanent site people. Doesn't look like these guys are permanent, but I'm assuming these guys are here on an extended stay. I'm just gonna put that out there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Cascade Loop number 2. So this is what 2 looks like. So you got this little hilly thing going on here. You can kind of jockey around the corner. This is going to be a short trailer site, very, very extremely short. You might be able to cut it maybe in this way a little bit. It's going to be a small trailer or a tent in that spot. 3 and 4 here, you might be able to get, if you backed into here, if you back down here, you could probably get a 25-30 foot trailer in here with a slide possibly. You know, some of these spots are just a little bit weird. Like, and this is technically site number 4. It's like literally right here, right next to it. I'm not sure what you could fit in here. You could fit maybe 15-foot trailer, maybe a small pop-up or something like that, maybe, you know, in that spot. So this spot here, 5 and 6, they're still short to the road. You might be able to do some side jockeying in here, but they're still really short. It's no more than 20 feet to the edge of that bush line. And, you know, number 6 is really short, narrow that way. I mean, I'd say probably a tent and a car in a tent. And that's probably what you're going to get into these sites, in some of these sites. And it's not to take a knock on these guys. You know, they built everything into, you know, the structure of the forest, which is great. But, you know, it will make it a little bit hard. 7 and 8. 7, you could probably kick something probably 25-30 feet, but in the opposite direction. You'd almost want to come this way to back into that spot. So it's just, and 8's probably in the same boat. I don't know. 10, this looks like a pretty solidified spot here. You could probably fit 25 feet into that spot. It looks like somebody might be there more on the long-term side. I'm not sure. So 11, I'm not too sure what you can fit into there. 12 looks a little bit more promising with a trailer. Of course, there's no real boundary between 11 and 12, so maybe 20-foot trailer, maybe. Depends on how you put it in here. It's, like I said, this park is going to be extremely hard to gauge. So just putting that out there. 13's got a nice little spot back here. It's kind of divided. I could say you could probably do 25-30 feet back there. You'd have to hook that corner a little bit hard there. The shorter the better in this Cascade Loop. I mean, you got some space back here. You might be able to get 20-25 feet before it dips off the backside there. That's number 15, 16. I don't know, maybe sideways here. It's going to be a little smaller. And Jordan being a knucklehead. 17 and 18. 18 looks a little bit short unless you can kick off that way a little bit and kind of look in that direction. Maybe that's what it looks like. You might be able to get 20-25 feet there. 19 and 20, this looks overgrown. 21, well, I like what these guys did here in 22, backed in, got all that stuff that way. I guess you could, unless you didn't want to, you know, fully win this guy's parade, but you could probably back the trailer in sideways here, maybe like in that 25-foot range. Maybe this is like here. This actually looks pretty deep. Honestly, get these stuff and stuff on the side back there, so it's deep. I think with just like 20, you could probably get something fairly long back there. It's actually got some segregation of space, so at least you kind of know where you sit. So, not too bad. Not too bad. You can put something big back there. Not bad. 24 kind of dips down this hill here a little bit. Camp camp tent. You probably could do a tent in there. I wouldn't do much more just with that dip. 25 and 26, these are private spots. So, yeah, not really going to talk a whole lot about that unless you got a private spot here that's got the red tops on them. So 27 might be this guy here. 28 may not be terrible. You do have to kind of come down this little hill here. It's pretty deep though. You know, you could probably do at least 30, 35 feet probably down here. You just have to kind of jockey down this hill a little bit. Like I said, this is going to take a little bit. This, lot of sites. So we're going to stick, wagon trail starts that direction. We're going to keep going this way on the loop, Cascade loop. Like how these guys jockeyed into here into 29. Nice setup. You just kind of kick back that direction. 30 is probably this mess over here. You could probably do 25, 30 feet sideways that direction here. 31 is probably this guy over here. You could probably do what they did, kick it sideways. 32, maybe a 15, 20 foot trailer. Smaller spot. This looks like a private site here on our left. This site here is 33. Like I said, you would have to back your stuff in long ways here to have that opening out there. 34, these guys are enjoying it. Tent style here is great. You know, bring 3 or 4 tents, camp out on a spot, good times. That's a nice little spot there. Looks fairly flat. This is 37 and 38. At least they're determined spots. Probably in that, you probably do 25 in there. I probably wouldn't do anything more than 20 over here. But it's nice shaded there. You know, that's not bad. And we're going to come up around the edge here. Looks like bathrooms here on the right hand side. Got a little barbecue pagoda looking thing over here. That's cool. Nice little feature. And 41, 42 here. So these are set up really good. I mean, you could probably do 20 feet here, but more likely tent spots. Look at this is Tentville, USA here. 41, 42, and 43, 44. You know, you probably fit some smaller trailers in on this loop. 44 there. 45. You might be able to kick a trailer back that direction, maybe 20 foot, 25 foot range. They're kind of long but narrow, you know. 47. Yeah, you probably fit a trailer in there, probably in that 20 foot range. 48 and 49. These guys look like they've been here for a hot minute. This is a nice open site here. If you kind of double book this, you know, this is 49 and 50. You get 2 people in there. Yeah, you could probably do some good stuff there. Probably in that 20 foot on the right. Probably do 30 feet on that left hand side there. So look at this. Got a toy hauler in here. Now this, I'm going to let you know, these sites coming up here on the loop, these are going to be the prime spots in the campground. Okay. They will fit some trailers. They will fit mostly tents, but these are the prize of the campground, and you'll understand why here in a minute. 55, 56, you might be able to go long ways maybe, but they're very short on that side. You got 53, 54. 54's got this trailer kind of backed in here, got a nice little deal going. And then you got 57, it's got like a 20 foot trailer in there, that's not bad. 58, you can put a little bit of trailer stuff in there. 58, 59, and these spots here on the end here, these are 60, 62, I'm going to say right now is probably the best spot in the campground. If you could pull yourself forward here, open up to this river front view here, this is, I honestly think this would probably be the best spot. And it's pretty open. You could hug this side. You could kick everything out. You'd have to back your vehicle back out, but you just pull right into this and have all that nice wide open uh, riverfront property access there. Gorgeous sights here. So 61 and 62, these look like mostly tent spots here. And a lot of these spots on this side will be tent spots. You got these couple of trailer spots. These are going to be your second go-tos for getting that that view out there of the river. That's gorgeous. That is straight gorgeous. Make sure to check out our main vlog video of us down here too. We're going to link that up. We're going to take the drone out and stuff. 62 A and B, tent or trailers only. 62 A and B. So this may not be a bad spot either. You know, you can park your trailer right here, pounce right out on that. So all of these spots here, you're going to fit probably 25, 30 feet. This is 63, 64. They look fairly deep enough to put something in. 63, 64. This is going to be 65 and 66. And then you got 67 here. All of these will fit trailers for sure. And you got 68 on this back side here. I got a tent in it, but you can fit a decent sized trailer. I'd try it for that view. I would try it. This guy here is 35, 40 feet long in 70. He's got the right idea. Pull forward, kick open what you can to that side, get that view. 71 and 72. A little bit. These are long sites, but they're like right back to back on each other. So you'd almost want to reserve these sites together. 73, 74, 74 will be on this side. It'll be a little bit, you could fit 20 feet in here probably. You could probably fit some, you just have to worry about, with these sites here, the road being narrow, jockeying a bigger trailer into one of these sites is probably going to be your biggest issue. But like these guys did into 76 here, where they kind of went forward and then kicked back into it, you know, that'll make it a lot easier than having that jockey a 90-degree angle. So 75, actually that's 77. This is 76. Good looking spot here. These guys got it figured out. 77 is private, 78 is not. Yeah, you could probably fit a trailer if you could kind of jockey it maybe 20, 25 feet. So that's 79. We got 80 over here. Not very big, maybe 15 to 20 foot trailer. Not going to be extremely big just by what we're seeing here. This is a nice little spot here. 81, 82. It's deep, or it's not deep, but it's wide. 83, 84. That's probably 20, 25 foot. Like I said, you still got to jockey that 90-degree angle. 84 is going to be kind of the same setup as 83. 85, if you were going to bring a trailer, you have to watch out for these trees. But yeah, you might be able to do it, but you're going to have to hook around that pole there. It's not going to be the easiest thing to do. 85, 86, 87, and 88. You know, probably 20 foot or less there. Now, mind you, everybody's probably asking, I'm going to let this guy come past here. I'm going to let this guy come past. But everybody's like, well, you're talking travel trailers. I'm talking biggest case scenario. Obviously, any of these spots, you can fit something smaller. So I'm just looking biggest case scenario. So I'm not trying to leave you tent guys out of here. 92 is up here. This truck's on the other side of it. Take a look at it here. Looks okay. You could probably fit 20, 25 feet in there, maybe. Like I said, you got to be able to hook these corners. Actually, this corner here wouldn't be as bad. That's a deep sight. What is that one? 93. You can swing this corner here, man, depending on what size your rig is and how good your skills are, maybe 30, 35 feet, but you're gonna have to hook in a small spot, in a small, width space here. These two spots on 95, 96 are private. We're not going to talk about those. Look at this place. It is definitely popular. Definitely family friendly oriented for sure. So it's 97, 98 on the other side here. Got a lot of tents and stuff in here. A lot of tent spots. 99, 100. 100's on the other side here. Yeah, that's a good little trailer setup there. That's probably at least 25, 30 feet. Guy did some good jockeying skills into 101. 103. Yeah, you could probably fit a trailer into 103 for sure. We're going to keep going. Well, this is interesting. You might be able to get something in here. It'd be really tight. You'd have to be really small just with the size. This is 105 here. 103, 104. So, yeah, it looks like this guy kind of went in sideways the other direction to get into his spot there. That's kind of a little bit different. And sometimes in some of these parks, you got to be a little bit creative. 107, 108. 107 looks good to put something decently sized into. I think that'll be an easier gradual corner to hook into. You could probably do 30 feet into there without a problem. 19, 110. 19, 110 here. The distinct, you don't know where one site goes and one site stops, so I don't know, it's really hard to tell you, but at least I'm giving you the layout of what it looks like, um, just so you can kind of be aware. This park is really hard to gauge. It's probably one of the hardest parks to gauge because the spots aren't really that you know really well set up here. There's too many trees here in 111. I wouldn't put much of a trailer in there. 112. Yeah, you could put a probably a 20-footer in there and be okay. 113. This guy's got a pretty good setup here with it kicked in like that. You could probably do 25 feet or so, 30 feet kicked in sideways there, easy. Yeah, Jordan out taking laps. And this I hear looks pretty deep. Got a little bit of low coverage there. I'd say probably 20, 25, 25 feet at least into that spot. That is spot number 115 and 117. You might be able to kick in, bring it a long ways and put all your business out that direction there to get into that spot. 118. I'm not sure about 118. What to do with that. That might be more of a tent spot. You might be able to put in something small in there. It's just hard to tell. 116 here looks pretty good. If that's all of the site there, that's a big site. You could probably fit 25, 30 feet in there all day long and still have some space. That looks like a spot back there. I don't know if that one's 121, but that's like a tent spot. 119 over here. That looks big enough to put a decent sized trailer if you can hook the corner well enough. Yeah, you might be able to get something decently sized in there. 120. I like what this guy did. Kicked in sideways. Took advantage of that narrow and punted all of his stuff out onto the other side. That's good. 122. That's a tent site. I'm not sure what you would fit into that. 123, 124. Yeah, I'm not sure. Another small spot. And here on the other side, 125, 126. I'm assuming 125 is over here. This is going to be a smaller, I'm not sure you could fit much of a trailer into this here. 126. Yeah, you can fit this trailer into 126. This is actually pretty deep. If you're going singly, you know, this would be a decent size. You could probably do at least 20 feet in here. Not a lot of grass or anything like that, but you know, it's a bigger spot here. Well, these guys got this in here like a champ. And this is what is this? This is D43. This is just, I don't even know how this got into that, but okay, this D43 looks like a pretty decent looking site. You got his trailer in there, nice. You got 27, 28, 28 here. That's a good looking site, and it kind of kicks through on the other side of the spur. You've got 29 here. That's a 28, 29 foot trailer, and you could have probably gone back a little bit, so maybe 30, 32 feet. You know, and it's got the pitch the right direction there. That's a good site. 129, that's a good one. Got 130 on the right side here. This guy got this thing shoehorned in here. It doesn't look fairly big, probably about 20 feet or so. Doesn't look extremely big, but he got it in there though. Props on that. Oh man, putting in that work today. This guy looks like he's been here for a little while into 131, 132. That's a deep site. That's a good looking site. You could do 25, 30 feet in there. Looks like things open up here a little bit more, which is nice. Let's take a look at what this is. This is 133 over here on our right, 134 on our left. That's actually a decent sized site. You could probably fit something big. This guy may be here for a little bit. I'm not sure. No. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure, but this site here coming this way 25, 30 feet at least, and you'd have a good little opening over here. 133 A and B. That's a nice little setup if you kind of dueled in. Looks a little bit deep enough. I'm not sure about putting a trailer into B just because of that hill there. So, I don't know. But, I mean, gorgeous how they build everything into the scenery around here, which is nice. Alright, we're hitting the bathroom here on the right hand side. Looks like they also got a dump station down here. This side over here looks private, so we're not going to talk about that. But yeah, it looks like there's a dump station here. Got the bathroom here. And we're going to get on the other side of this pagoda here. There's going to be some more spots. It might be hard for me to let you know which sites these are. So 135 over here, 136 on the other side. You might be able to back something in on that back side there. 136 here, it kind of goes down here. Maybe 15, 20 foot trailer. It kind of just falls off the edge there. I mean, or like I said, you could, you know, pull your stuff in long ways here and go out that direction. You know, that might be an option as well. I'm not sure what is over here on this side because they've got it pretty well sequestered. So, you know, try not to disturb people while they're out here camping. You know, I'm just trying to give everybody that input and, you know, try to do the best we can. 137, this is actually a cool spot. You could, I think I saw the last time we were here, a trailer kick sideways in here. That would be a good spot as well. 138. This is, right, looks like they got a nice little pagoda. I'm not sure if this is accessible or not. Looks like somebody more in a long-term situation, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe not. But it's a good looking site. It's nice and wide open for sure. We're counting up. We're getting there. Where are we at now? We're at 140. We're just past 140. We're going up to 200. And those up to 140 there was private. All right. That all looks private right there. So we're going to come down here. We're still at 143, 144. So 133, you could kind of back up here and kick out, probably in that, at least that 30-foot range. Same thing over here. You can get some space. You might be a little bit narrow on the other side of this. You know, with what you have on the other side, it looks like this is popular for tents, which is nice. 147 and 148 here. Like I said, no real designation, so it makes it kind of hard. 148. Now I love what this guy's done here with this fifth wheel. Pulled it, backed it right in there, got all this space wide open for him. So that looks good. I'm not sure if that's on Wagon Trail. Yep, Wagon Trail. We will hit that here in a little bit. This park is very confusing. We're still on that Cascade Loops, 149 to 198. So 149 here. That looks like that side there looks deep. You could fit something in there fairly deep, at least if you could tuck that corner well enough there. You know, at least 35-40 feet into there. These sites here, so this will be 150 and 150 here. This looks short unless you kick the trailer sideways. 151 right here. You can maybe get a smaller trailer into there. 152. Yeah, same deal. Smaller trailer, you might be okay. Now we stayed in this loop. The first time we came here, we actually stayed in this section here, and the spots aren't really designated well, so it's just really hard in this batch of area here. So we're at 155. That goes back at least 25, 30 feet. So you're probably a 20, 25 foot trailer there. It's a nice open spot. 156 is kind of in the same realm there. You could kind of kick in a little bit sideways there. You could probably fit 30, let's say like 25 feet or so. So this side's here, 57, 58. This is where we stayed. You might want to tag team up with that setup there, because then there's another spot on this side. And yeah, 162, small tent site. This 160 over here, that's actually a really big site. You could fit something really big in there. It looks like they got a lot of cars parked over there. I'd say probably a 30-foot trailer a little bit sideways in there, you should be just fine. I know we went a little bit fast past that. Like I said, I try not to disturb people while we're doing these things. It does make it hard during the peak time of summer in a place like this. I just don't want people to get weirded out about me riding around and stopping every 5 seconds. So 164, that's a smaller site. You could probably do 20 feet in there, so maybe. Probably be better for a tent kind of setup in there. Uh, 170 over here. This is a smaller spot here. I'd say probably good for, I mean, especially where the fire ring is. I'd say good for a tent. 167, 168. These are good sites. These guys got his, 30 plus foot fifth wheel back there like nobody's business. And, you can put another trailer in over there. It just kind of dips off that back side there. That looks smaller in the 20-foot range. So maybe 25 feet if you want to stay on the top of there, or if you want to kind of come in sideways, that might be an option as well. I don't know what site that is. That doesn't really have a designation. We're going to call that one 171, and this is 172. You might be able to get 20 feet or so back here. Might not be bad. 173. Yeah, if you can hook that corner, you could get 20 feet in there. 174 looks more, I'm not sure if that's more of a permanent kind of site. That's what I'm going to gauge off that. This is kind of a thin back end site here, probably better suited for what it's doing is a 10 spot into 175. 176. Oh yeah, you could definitely get a trailer into 176 for sure. You could definitely back something actually fairly big. I'd say 30, 35 feet, you could probably get back there and still be okay. This side over here, this looks like 177. It looks a little bit smaller. It's probably better for a tent and that kind of spot. It's kind of got a little whoop-de-woo in it there. 180. This, I don't know what to do with this. And you got a picnic table up there. I'm saying probably good for a tent spot over there. 178. Probably good for another tent spot. It's fairly narrow, unless you got a really small trailer you could kind of sandwich in there. Maybe a little itty bitty pop up or something like that. Maybe. I'd say it'd be more safe with a tent in that spot. And 181, probably in that 20 to 25 foot range there, you could fit something into. Yeah, that wouldn't be too terribly bad. 181. 183, I don't know, tent spot. I'm not sure. We're going to talk about 186. It's another smaller spot. Another smaller spot. Maybe if you kick sideways, maybe you could probably get like 20 feet in there, 25 feet, but I wouldn't go backwards on that. So if you're liking the content so far, make sure you're hitting that like and subscribe button. We're out here grinding today. This video is going to take us a while to film. So we appreciate all the support. This is a big undertaking taking on this campground, but we're going to give it everything we got here. 189 and 190, 189, you might be able to do a trailer sideways, but it'd be a good tent spot. 190, maybe 20 feet or so, maybe 20, 25, you might be able to kick back there. May not be too bad. We're getting to the end of this loop. I think the coming in sideways thing, that might be a good idea there. That's 191 and 192 over here. Maybe a 20 footer, 20, 25 maybe. And now we're starting to open up here a little bit. 20, 25 feet into that spot there. We're almost done with this segment. 193, another sideways kind of setup here, I would say. And 194 in the same manner, or you could kick kind of backwards into this as well and kind of open up on that side, or maybe kick over this way and open up that way. Actually, it'd be more better that way and kick open that way. 195. I saw a massive fifth wheel in here yesterday, parked way sideways, kicking everything that way. And 196 on the other side. I'm not sure how you would get into 196. It's just kind of that loop-de-loop around there. More better for a tent, I would assume. 197. This, yeah, you probably fit a smaller trailer in here. 198. It looks like more of a tent spot. And yeah, the tent spot looks like this is going to be some of this kind of over on the back side here. And ladies and gentlemen, we have made it. We have just done 198 spots on this segment, which puts us up over 300, almost 400 sites. We're at, no, 320. We're at almost 320 sites right now so far. We're going to get into that next segment next. All right, everybody, welcome to our next segment here at Cascade Peaks. We are going down Wagon Trail. These sites go, I believe, up to 90. I want to say 90 something. So we're going to get out of here. This is site number 1. Over here looks to be a tent site or maybe a small, I don't know, probably 15, 20 foot trailer. If you could probably park it sideways like that, you might be able to pop it in there. Definitely got some shade cover there, which is nice. Wagon trail number 2 over here on the left hand side. Yeah, definitely another small trailer or tent spot there. I think you could do another small trailer, like I said, sideways in here, possibly maybe 20 foot or so. And that's site number 3, and then 4 on the other side. 4 on the other side here. You could probably back a 15, 20 foot trailer in there, maybe, probably more like 15. It is a little bit narrow there. You might be better off for a 10 spot there. This site here, number 6. I'm not sure where 5 is. 5 looks overgrown. 6. Yeah, you could probably get maybe a 20 foot trailer or so in here. Just kind of whip it in backwards here, and it's got a little bit more of an area there. So let's continue on. So 5 and 6, and then got a nice little spot here. I cannot tell what this is. To be truthfully honest, I'm kind of rolling blind on that one. 7 and 8, I think right behind me there. Smaller trailer, more like a tent spot, just where these trees are kind of located there. It kind of makes it a little bit rough. Yeah, 9 and 10 over here. They got a nice little setup going. They got a bunch of trailers actually in here. This is actually quite impressive. They got a little bit creative here. Got a couple of 20 footers in here. Got this one in this way, that one in that way. That's a nice little setup. You can get creative here. And these guys are definitely doing it here in 9 and 10. They got 3 trailers in those spots. Good stuff there. This looks like that's a little bit of an access road. We got the bathroom up here on the right-hand side. We're on Wagon Trail, remember? So we got sites of 11 and 12. This one here may not be bad. You could probably do a 30-foot trailer in here and just kind of kick it back that way. That wouldn't be bad. Into there, into 12. Probably in that 20-foot range, kind of like what this guy just kind of went straight forward there. This right here actually looks good. This is 13. Yeah, this actually looks really wide. You could probably do a 30-foot trailer. I would think in here you might have to jog around, maybe a little bit shorter. Just depends really, when I'm saying this, like how deep it is. It really just depends on your driving ability and how you can maneuver your trailer to get in. But, that's a pretty open looking spot there. We're going to keep going. See, these guys here putting the trailer sideways, that's actually not a bad way to do it. And this is site 15. Looks like they put at least a 20-foot trailer in sideways there. 16 right next to it. You could probably do the same thing. Probably in that 20-25 foot range if you kind of get more sideways, kind of like that toy hauler is in front of us there. The sites on the right hand side are permanent sites, so we won't discuss about those. But yeah, 19. That's great. You could put something really, really big in here. I'd say in that 30-foot range, easy, and put it in sideways like this and then kick everything out the other side there. You could probably do the same thing on 20 as well, kind of come in long, probably in that 20-25 foot range, and then kick out that way. So that's good. So 21's a long-term spot, and looks like 22 is also a private spot as well, so we'll just keep going. So it looks like 23 and 24. 24 looks really small. 23 looks like it's got most of the real estate here. They look like they got about 20 25-foot trailer in there. You could probably do 30 plus in there and still be fine. So that's a nice little spot. This site here, 25. Okay, that's 23 and 24. We got 25 and 26 over here. If you came from this direction and kicked backwards, you could probably do 20 feet or so in that way. And probably the same thing the other direction. Or, like I said, kick it long ways, you could probably do 20 feet. 27's a good looking site. That goes back a fair amount of ways. You probably could put a 30-foot trailer in there at least and probably kick it around, just make sure you miss that pole there. So, not too shabby. And I think we're getting into some of the private spots here. That looks like a private spot. This site here, 31, doesn't look like it's a private spot. It's fairly open though. I'd say you could do at least 30 feet back there. It looks like it's got really good clearance, so that's not bad. And 32 is a private spot. And private spots in 33 and 34, 35 and 36. 35, this site here actually intrigues me. It's got good maneuverability. I think at least a 30-foot trailer could fit in there easy. And in 36, you're in the same deal. You could back up a trailer at least 30, 35 feet in there and probably be just fine. The only thing with these sites here is you're right next to the country store, the pool area. It'll get a little bit loud. The kids already start to go in there and start playing, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. So just kind of keep that in mind. So we're going to keep going through the country store here, and we're going to go 37 to 92 on this side here. And just keep rolling. Assuming this side here looks, I'm not sure, it looks a little bit more permanent. This is some densely populated area here. 30, 37 and, 38 looks like it's private. 37 here, I'm not too sure about that. 39 and 40 there. 40 looks deep. You could probably stick 30 feet in there, probably for sure. And then you've got, what's this, 41 over here. We could probably put something off the side here. It might be a good 10 spot. I'm not sure. I'm not sure kind of how to gauge that, because the fire pit being right in the middle there, it makes it kind of hard. 42, kind of hard to also tell where this site is. This is probably just with maneuverability, either a really small trailer right in here, or just do your tent camping out of that spot there. Now I want to say this is a site right here, and that is going to be 43, probably 20 foot or so in there. 44. 44's got some good maneuverability from what it looks like. You could probably put 20, 25 feet or kind of kick it in sideways there. 45, you could go in diagonal there, probably like 20, 25, at least 25 feet or so. Maybe even further, just depends on how that throw comes over right there. 46, I got like a 25-foot deal going forward there, so that's not bad. And these guys are doing it up over here, just going right through. That looks to be about 30 feet or so, probably pretty close to that. And that is in site 47. And we got 49 here. That really is at least 30 feet. Back that up. 50 can be a little bit smaller. This here, I'm not sure about either. Let's keep coming up here a little bit more. This site here looks like it's number 51. You could probably pull something in here. It looks like it's deep, so that doesn't look bad. A little uneven, but you could probably put 25, 30 feet in there as well. 52, this looks like that's a permanent spot, as also is 54. 54 looks permanent, and these sites here, this is 55 and 56. I'm not sure where the designation is on that, but at least 25, 30 feet there. And so wagon trail, then you get into this kind of open and clearing here. You've got 57, 58. 57 here actually looks really good. It'll go back there for a mile. So 30, 35 feet, and probably more easily maneuverable if you came from this way and then backed in. And even this R-Pod's probably about 20, 18 feet or so. 30-foot trailers in here, easy. So we have 61 and 62 here. Still look fairly deep. You just have to probably maneuver around the picnic tables a little bit. But the only downfall in this little Meadow Valley area here is, you've got people on the back side of this as well. And, you're going to have a lot of people kind of in the middle. 59 would probably be this little strip in here. And then 60 goes back a long ways here. You could probably put 30 foot at least in here and make it work. I think that would be all right. And then we're going down here. These spots are hard to gauge. This is 63 and 64. It looks maybe like over there 63, over here 63 or 4. It's hard to tell the designation. It's real crazy. 65, where this guy's pulled right in here with his fifth wheel, did an amazing job just pulling right through. And of course, if somebody really wants to park in 66, there's not a whole lot there. It's designated as a site. But if there's somebody in 65, I'm pretty sure you're not going to want to be in 66 unless you know the person in 66. Then you could bring the trailer, your rig the other direction and go awning to awning and kind of have your own nice little private space there. So that is an opportunity there. So yeah. So you might be able to fit some trailers in here. Like I said, the designation is really hard in these areas because you don't know where one side begins and one side ends. 68 and 67, it's in here somewhere. I'm pretty sure whoever the first person is to get here and set up and claim their spot is pretty much, that's going to be the person that wins here in these kind of communal spot areas. So take it for what it's worth. 69, 70 are private. I think we're going to go on a run of private spots here. This, I'm not sure what's up with this site here, but these are all private. That's 71, 72. And there's another site, but it does not have a box or a designation, so I'm not sure what's up with that site. 75, 76. So 76 here. Oh, look at that. These guys came in last night. Pull through into there. That's a 30-foot rig in there. 79, I'm going to assume, is right here. And you'd be right on top of them, though. That's the only thing with that. That would suck. You could probably get if you came from the other direction and backed in, you could probably get a 20-foot trailer in there, maybe a little bit more. Just hard to kind of tell. 80, you'd be primed to put something really big in here.
I would say probably in that 30, 35 foot range, number 80, because you could come out a little bit farther. I'm pretty sure they could kick back even further than that. So looks like 78 is not a private spot. You could go straight back there, probably in that 25 foot range if you got creative coming in diagonal, maybe 30. So got your shade cover, not too bad. And we're at 81 here on this side here. This side, if you can get past this little berm here and kick over a little bit, you're in that like 25, 30 foot range. It's not a bad little setup they got going on there. 80, 83, you could probably put something in here that's probably in that 30 foot range, maybe even a little bit bigger if you kind of kicked up the hill there a little bit, maybe. I don't know, because it kind of connects to the other side of the road, so you could almost treat it like a pull through almost, which is kind of cool. And 84 is probably in that same regard, except I don't know how you would attack it. It looks like you would have to attack it from the other side of the road. The site's big, but it's very narrow, and I'm not sure how the turning would go into 84. You'd have to be a little bit of a magician to figure that out, so not sure. That's 84. So we've got 85, 86. 85 is private, 86 is not. It's open. That's a 30 foot spot. Come in, back in. Yeah, you could easily do that. 87 and 88. 88's another spot that's really narrow. I'm just not too terribly sure what you're going to do with that besides a tent and just being able to really hard navigate, to tightly turn into something like this. Maybe from that other direction, I don't know. It'd have to be really small, or you just have to be really, really nimble. In some of these spots that are kind of iffy, I would not reserve them without, knowing what you can get into. Like I said, this video is just kind of a guidance to kind of give you an idea on what to do, what you could get into. So 90, this side actually looks pretty wide. You could probably do 30 feet in here, kick it backwards. You just have to watch out for the trees there in the middle, but it looks like it might be manageable enough. You might have to worry about some of this brush here. So that's 90, 91. 89 is private. That brings us to 91, which I'm going to assume is this last spot right here. And this is 30 feet. It's 30 feet all day long. 30, 35 plus in this mountain of mess here. That thing goes back 35, 40 feet. You could probably do pretty good back there. So that is going to wrap up Wagon Trail, the section Wagon Trail. In our next section, we're going to be heading out to the meadow and doing those camp spots out there. All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are out here. We are going to give you the review now of the meadow. This is the most open spot out here in at Cascade Peak. It's a big loop that kind of goes around. It's got all this open area. It definitely makes it a lot easier to get into some of the sites here. If you're a little bit bigger, this might be an option for you to look at just to make it a little bit easier to come into. So let's go check it out. Most of the stuff on the left-hand side here, you're fitting at least 30 feet. It's not going to be that bad. Look at all this. Who's ever in this first spot here, I want to say this is going to be spot 1. Going to have a lot of real estate. 3, 4, so this is 1 and 2 on this side. 3 and 4 on this side. Yeah, you can fit 30 feet on either side of these right now. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. You're still fitting 30 feet plus. 7 and 8 still 30 feet plus. A little uneven over here, but not bad. 7, 8. You're at 9 and 10. You're still, I can still see 30 feet going in here. 9 and 10. 11, you can still probably, yeah, you can go back. You might be better off with what this guy's got here, because there's a short gap between between the pole and the tree there, so you might be better in the truck over. Into 12, you might be able to kick out maybe a little bit and put in something a little bit bigger into there, but just kind of depends. Like I said, everything on the left side is going to be 30 feet. 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, all this stuff is 30 feet plus. 15, you could probably do 25, 30 feet. 16, probably in that 20-foot range before it dips off the back side there. Look at that firewood. Holy cow, somebody's going to have themselves a nice little fire. Holy cow. And who's ever in 17 and 18, 17, this is like a 40, 50 foot back. You could go back a mile on 17 or 18. 19, you could go back a mile. 20, you could go back. You got plenty of room back there. 30 plus. All this stuff here on the left side, this is 21, 22. Everything on this left side is good for size. 22 might start to get a little bit small. 23, 24, these are 30 foot plus sites. Yeah, this 20, I think it's 24 is a little bit more narrow here. 25 is a private. 27, a little unwavery here, but I think you could probably do 25, 30 feet in there without it getting too out of control. 28 is going to be a lot smaller. I'm not sure. If you move the picnic table, you might be able to get something like 20 feet in there, probably pretty good. 26, if you're kicking in that way, you're probably in that 25 foot range. It does kind of dip down a little bit in the back there, so just kind of note to the wise on that. Let's see here. We've got 29. 29 kind of goes off the side here. If you came in more sideways, that's an easy 30-foot spot. 30 is definitely a 30-foot spot. You just have to watch out for those trees there. It kind of dips down a little bit. Kind of buyer beware on that one. 31 and 32 are going to be a little bit shorter. You might be able to go in kind of long ways here at that 20, 25 foot range. You aren't going to have that same luxury here into 32. 32, you're going to need to probably come straight back, and that's going to limit you to about 20 feet or so. So let's keep going. We're cruising along, everybody. 33, this is a 30-foot site. 34 has definitely, that's at least a 30-foot toy hauler there, and it's fitting in there like nobody's business. So I'd say that's an easy 35, 40-foot site, and I like how they went kind of sideways with it there. You give yourself some more, room if you wanted to go a little bit bigger. 35 over here is a lot smaller. 36, this is kind of your typical, what's perfect for this is just a little pop-up, something like that, easy to level and maneuver on, so not bad there. Alright, let's keep going here a little bit farther. So 37 and 38. 37, that's a 30-footer. 38, that's probably another 30-foot site. And then 39 is going to be a little bit more touchy. They must have know the people in 40, and they kind of just shifted everything in there just right. So they're kind of sharing that site there, but this site's real small. 40 is actually really good, so You can probably fit a 20-25 foot. I want to say it's probably like a 20-foot deal there. And this nice camper set up here in 43. This is the perfect kind of deal. It's about 20 feet and works out perfect for what they're doing. 44 on the back side here. Another little short guy here. Nice little pop-up, or a tent could fit into there just nicely. Let's keep going a little bit further. So this site here is 47. This thing is huge. That's at least a 35, 40 foot spot there, easy. And then this side here, probably in that 25 foot range, but it's actually fairly wide. I think you'd be able to get in there pretty good. 46, I'm not sure what the heck 46 is all about over here. It looks like a little parking lot, maybe for a tent or something, maybe, I'm not sure. 48 over here, they got a nice size, this is like a 30 foot travel trailer in there. You have the nice little tree covering there, which is nice. These are all private. I want to say it looks like private stuff over here on the left for a minute. 51. Yeah, you probably very narrow between here. So a small pop-up, a tent would probably be better for this. 52, kind of over here in the same range, just something real small. This 53 over here looks actually fairly huge. You could actually kick something more, horizontal in here and get some more coverage, probably in that 30 to 35 foot range, and still be okay. 54 here. 54. Not very deep, but you could come in sideways from what it looks like here, and probably in that 25, 30 foot range, come in sideways, have all your stuff on the other side there. We're cruising along. 55. 55's got to be probably this over here. This is like tent kind of stuff over here. 56, maybe a small pop-up or something like that. Not sure about the angles with the trees. You might be able to get a smaller 15-foot trailer in there, but it's kind of got a little bend in down there, which is going to make it hard to kind of level that out. So kind of keep that in mind. All right, and we're starting to head down the back side. Probably a good little 20-foot spot here in 59. 60, you're going to open up a little bit more here. I think you could probably do a 30-foot in there for sure. 61, maybe in that 25 to 30 foot range. Yeah, I'd say so. 62, not quite so much. It's going to be a lot smaller. And you got a lot more trees here. I think it's good for what it's doing as being a tent spot. Looks like everything on the left side here is going to be a little bit more open for like 30 feet plus. 63, 64, yeah, you could totally put something in along there. 65, 30 feet. 66, definitely 30 plus feet in there for sure. Right here, those are actually really nice. 67, definitely 30 foot plus. 68, yeah, another 30 foot site here. 70, you could probably do another in the 25 to 30 foot range before it kind of dips off the back side there. 68, I'm not sure what the premise is with 68. If you kind of pull in sideways here, maybe kind of back in, maybe in that 25, 30 foot range, it's going to be a pain in the butt, I think, to try and level that out. It looks a little unlevel from here, so I don't know there. 70 and 72 down here. 71, you could probably bring something in kind of like that, parallel with the road here, and probably do that 25, 30 foot, check everything out there. 72 kind of looks like a dead spot, more like for a tent or something like that, especially if somebody's in 71. 73 on the other side here, this looks fairly open. You could probably do 30 feet in here. Absolutely. You'd be probably best to pull through and put all your stuff out on the other side here. Put your slides on this side. But then you'd have to have room to get your vehicle out if that's what you needed to do. But that's an option there. 74. Ooh, 74. Oh yeah, this is definitely a 30 footer. Easy. And I think the next one in front of it as well. It's probably another 30-foot spot. Yeah, 77. I think 78. You got this little box thing you got to contend with, but if you can get past that, you might have to jockey a little bit for leveling. But 78, yeah, you can put whatever you want back here. You're just gonna have to know how to level and be a whiz at that. 76 is a big site too. It at least 30 feet at least back there, and then these sites here, 79 and 80, they're totally whatever you want to put back there. You could put 50-foot toy hauler back there and friggin' be loving life. In 79, 80 is a little bit smaller, probably more like a 30-foot. 81 here. Yeah, if you had some jockeying skills and you had some leveling skills, yeah, 30, 35 feet. 82, not quite so much. It's probably fit for like what they've got here, more of like a 20-foot setup here. 83, wide open, 30 feet, 40 feet, whatever you want to do here. That site is actually really big. 84 is probably in the same realm there. Whatever you want to put in there, go right ahead, go nuts. 85 and 86. 86 looks tight by this tree. It's kind of cozy in here, but I think it's better best set up for these tents and stuff like that. So, yeah, 85, 86, more like tent kind of setup, small, compact. 87, 88, wide open, 40 feet, whatever you want to put in there, have at it. It is definitely wide open. So if you're getting value out of this, make sure you hit this like button. Make sure you're subscribed. You know, we're out here putting in some serious work at this campground, getting these reviews in for you guys. The total video time is going to be in that 2 to 2.5 hour range of us going around here and giving you this firsthand perspective is definitely a big undertaking. So 88, whatever you want to put back there, it's good. 89, I would probably keep it in that 30, no, I'd say probably in that 20-foot range there. 90, maybe sideways, you might be all right with, you know, probably like a 20-foot trailer, so kind of more sideways. Like I said, 91, 92, 30 feet plus, whatever you want to put into there. 93, probably in that 20-foot range. 94, if you didn't have that volleyball tent there, you could put up whatever the French toast you want to put in there. 30, 35 feet would be good. So 85 and 86, big sites, you put in whatever you want. We're out here in the meadow. 97 and 98, probably in that 20-foot range. 97, 98, yeah, you could put anything you want in here. This is a big, this trailer, I actually saw these guys pulling in, big horse trailer here, probably in that 25, 30-foot range. It could have gone back there another 20 feet and still been just fine. 99, I like what they've done here. This is probably about 30 feet, but it dives down on the other side. So 99, you're going to want to park in sideways like this. They've done it correct, for sure. 100, you're probably going to want to be a little bit smaller, but you're gonna have to probably do the same thing. It dips way off, or that, or be prepared to be in the back 40 there. But I don't even think I'd really want to do that, to be truthfully honest. And then I want to say there's probably some open tent camping out in the back side of the meadow here that, you know, you can pay for, that aren't really site designated, but it's, you know, definitely something that you can do. And you see them, they got volleyball out there, they got their tents, got their cars and stuff out there. So yeah, 101, I have no idea what the heck they're going to do with that. That's not really a spot. 102 is in that 30-foot range all day long. Definitely in that 30-foot plus range, probably more like 40. And everything from here kind of opens up a little bit more. So 105, 106, these are 30-foot spots all day long. 103, 104, yep, still big time stuff you can put in there for sure. These guys actually jockeyed a bunch of different vehicles in there, and they're making it work. They paid their money. You know, you do what you do. 109 here looks a little bit smaller. Probably you're going to be in that 20-foot range before you get off that backside. Maybe 110, probably in that 25-foot range before it completely falls off the face of the planet. And I'm not sure if you can camp out in this little part of the meadow here just in your tent and not have a specific site. I'm not real sure about that. But yeah, I think that is just about it. There are no other camp spots kind of in this section here. There is nothing in here. This is kind of just wide open meadow space here. And that looks like it's going to wrap up the meadow part of our campground review. We're not done yet. We still got a couple more sections to go through. So stay tuned for that, and we're going to catch right back up with you. All right, everybody, we are going to hang down the main spur. It's only got a couple of sites on it. Remember, we've got the country store here on the right-hand side. We're going straight up, and these sites are lettered, not numbered. So on your left-hand side, you're going to have main spur A and B. This is where we're located this weekend. We're out here doing it up. We've got A and B. Got a little bit wet in there last night, a little soggy, but it wasn't completely terrible. Remember, we jockeyed in sideways. That's definitely a way to do it here. C, you can definitely fit in 30 feet more in a diagonal there. And D, I'm going to say this is going to be D and E here. These are like 20-foot trailers in here now, but you can, like I said, jockey sideways like we do. D and E, you could definitely kind of bring stuff in a little bit more sideways. That looks like a 25-foot trailer in there, nice and clean back. That is number F. And a couple little tent trailers here. You could probably go 25 feet in G, and you could probably back up probably 30. If you backed in, you could probably do like 35 feet into that back spot there, and that is H. And that is main spur. And that will conclude our Ruckus review of this campground. I hope we hit as many of these as we can. I know we did not get everything completely thoroughly covered. The video would have just been way too long. We covered over 500 sites during this round, and it's definitely one for the books. I hope somebody gets some value out of this. Make sure to drop a comment. Make sure to hit that like button if you got something out of this. I know, like I said, this campground, unless you've been here before and you know what sites you sit in, they will not allow you to reserve. So hopefully maybe I can give you a little insight on, you know, getting a leg up on a spot in here that you think you can fit into with a little bit of notice. We could definitely use this to kind of shock the world on this. So make sure you support what we're doing out here for you guys. And as always, we'll see you guys in the next video.